Well, howdy, 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 nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. Holy smokes, I'm hurting today. Yay, it was late getting to bed, and then I woke up midnight to have to get up and go to the bathroom, and then I got up at like 7:30ish. I am hurting. Oh, both arms are just not good. Nerve compression for the win. Plus, if my sister's watching this, as she said she's been watching them lately just to check in and see how my mental status is, hello. Thumbs up. Anyway, though, arms are hurting, but at least I slept, and I'm going to talk about a whole bunch of stuff that happened yesterday. I don't know why my kitty is meowing. She's old. Fans on in the window, fans and stuff outside. It's not going to get too hot. Mid-70s, yay, it's almost September. But I'm going to talk about a lot of things. Some silly, some not so silly. First off, yesterday was a long day. It was a very stressful day. I'm going to talk about that. But on my way home, during a frustrating part, I stopped at GameStop because I needed to do something for me, and I wanted to spend a few dollars. There is a blue orb up here for pondering. It is a squishy thing for, stress squishing. So it's a stress squishy ball, and you still got to be careful with it, because where the plugs go in it that put the squishy stuff in, if you push too hard, they're going to go pop, and then the stuff is going to come out. So yay, but it's got Orbeez in it, little styrofoam pellets, and you squish it and watch it, and so I got that for stress stuff. But it's funny to have it up there on this bowl is the stand for pondering. Thumbs up. Amelia! Why are you meowing out there? She's in the hallway meowing like she's lost, so that's why I sometimes worry that she actually has kitty dementia. I hope not, but you never know. I am tugging obsessively on my shirt, which, again, I do obsessive things, and as long as you can be obsessive, as long as you're not compulsive. My sister fights hard with obsessive compulsive stuff. So again, hello sister, if you're watching that, yeah, we struggle with that. She's gotten a lot worse. Everybody's DNA is a mess. Our DNA is a mess. I'm a mess. She's a mess. I bet you're a mess too. DNA for the win. It's fun being human. But not only did I get an orb for pondering, these things next, they're oily / moist, and so they're fun and they're squishy. They're little squishy things. You squish them. They're just literally squishy. And they're cute. And so I bought 2 packs of these. And they're just little squishy things. Again, they are moist. I have these things sitting on a piece of cardboard down here. I like these things. Again, they are squishy. You just squish them, and they wiggle and stuff every time you make movements, and I like things like that. But they are, again, moist, and they are leaving rings of moisture on the cardboard that I have. But because they're moist and they have these concave bases, concave? Yeah, convex is out, concave is in. If you squish them outward so that they're flatter, set them on something like the surface of there, which is laminated, and then they suction cup down mildly. So they're cute, and I like them. It was like $3 for a pack, and so I spent some money, and I bought little squishy things, because these little squishy things make me happy. And I bought an orb back there for pondering, which it wasn't any more than like $2-3. It was like on clearance, and I wanted something like that for squishing. So I got that, and I got these little squishy things, and they were for me, and they weren't a lot of money, because hokey smokes, I have spent money lately on things like cat food, and laundry detergent. And the thing is, I don't buy expensive cat food. There's cheap cat food, which she's not going to eat because it's garbage. And there's expensive cat food, which I'm not going to buy because it's expensive. I get mid-range stuff, and she eats it. If I have learned through experience what she will and will not eat. And as she gets older and her stomach gets more finicky, I gotta make sure I get stuff that she'll eat, because she will literally starve if she doesn't want it. So she at least eats what I buy. But that has almost doubled in price over the past year. And I was shocked at the price of the laundry detergent. Again, it was pods, but that's just become easier. And it's not the most expensive stuff, because, oh my god, no. And it's not the cheapest stuff, because I want to get my clothes at least clean. So it's mid-range stuff. And the cat food and the laundry detergent add a little bit of extra on top of that for the cat dirt. Again, $70. It's just, my god, I didn't buy expensive stuff. It was just the mid-range stuff that I always buy. Now, let me check the rest of my list here. Oh yes, this made me laugh out loud, and it wasn't something that was actually funny. But it's funny in a non-funny kind of way. The random doomer mentality. If you stick with the doomer mentality and you lean into it, you're not going to do well, because it's not conducive to good mental health. It is bad for up here. You have to live your life in a non-doomer mentality, or you're just going to drive yourself down. Except, of course, and I don't blame anyone for it with the current generations having that mentality, because look at the world. I don't blame anybody. Look at the world. Look how it's being driven off a cliff face and nobody's trying to stop it. I don't blame anyone for having a doomer mentality. But I do watch this one channel called Bellular News. They have made, published, and worked through the bugs of. They have a team. They're a small studio. And they made a narrative-driven RPG. And they've published that. But to help keep money coming in while they've done that, as well as other ways to do it, they have their channel and they do gaming news. One of the things they were talking about was, I think it was like the monetization of various games, this, that, and the other, and how terrible a lot of them are. And so, of course, it was just out of nowhere talking about there. It was just, and of course it is, because everything is confusing, and we live in hell. And he's a nice guy in his videos, so having the doomer mentality come out was just a shock, and I laughed out loud. And of course later on, as he was talking about more horrible things, he just went, and of course he's doing this and this, because hell, again. And then just went on. And it's like, yeah, random doomer mentality for the win. Okay, do I have anything else on my list that I want to talk about before I go into the big stuff? This is just a minor thing. I used to be 5'10 and a half, almost 5'11. You lose height as you get older. Now, I don't know how much I trust this one, because they did this with me wearing my shoes. They don't know how tall my shoes are. But they did my height when they did my weight on one of my last visits. They said I was 5'9", but that's 1.5 inches of height loss. I'm not so sure about that. So what I need to do is like take my shoes off, stand up against something, block off, and then check that way. But right now, I'm not so sure about the 5'9", but yeah, you lose height because your bone degeneration and disc degeneration in your spine. Yay for growing older. Now, yesterday when I went for the tiny village thing, the veterans village thing, they are tiny. They are really tiny. They are exceptionally tiny. I mean, extremely tiny. They have single beds, one person beds. You open up the door to get into these apartments, and boom, you're in the bedroom. You walk in, it's the bedroom. The door swings open, and it reaches to as far as the bed coming down. To the side, they give you a little mini fridge with a microwave on top of it. Between that and the end of the bed and the wall, they want to put in a single desk, because there's just enough room that one person can sit there and use a desk. The other part of the room where you walk in is the room. As you walk through it, that space is the room. There's a little tiny bit of space, maybe to put a little tiny bit of shelving, possibly off to the side. But past that, no. You walk in, and that's the room. They supply you with a bed, they supply you with all of these things. Now, for all that's tiny, like I say, you walk in, that's the room. The length of the room is the length of the bed plus about 2.5 feet. And width-wise, it is the width of the bed and the walkway that's a little bit wider for, a living room next to the bed and the wall. And then there is a smaller area you walk into that has the water heater on one side, and then there's like a cubby on the other. That's probably going to be a closet space, because these aren't open yet. They're still doing work. And then past that, toilet, shower stall. That's it. Tiny little room that has a bed and just enough space inside of it, and then a tiny cubby for a closet and a bathroom. I don't even know if there's space in there to set up my computer. Right now, no, because there's nothing to set things on. If I put this plastic table from Walmart that I have, like, next to the bed, there might be enough room to squeeze between it and the wall. There's no room for this chair. But I need a specific type of chair so that it has lumbar support, and then I need an extra lumbar support pillow. I'm not going to be able to fit something big in there. The other part, of course, is they supply Wi-Fi in the community center. Now, the community center is big. They have a big old kitchen. There's a bunch of refrigerator space, because there's going to be about 30 people living there. There is a lot of refrigerator space, a lot of freezer space. There is dry storage space so that you can have refrigerated, frozen, and dry goods. And that's good, and you can cook. And everything they're trying to be as carbon friendly as possible. All the lights are, you don't flick them on and then turn them off. You walk into the room, they come off. When you leave, they turn off. Even the ovens are on timers. They'll only go for 2 hours at a time, and then they shut off to try and be as carbon friendly as possible. So it's nice. It's big that way, but the actual rooms themselves, and the Wi-Fi's in the community center. I'm not going to go to the community center to be online. Being online is my connection to the world. It's like for anybody normal, that's the wrong word. For anybody else, it would be to take away my internet connection is like if we take away your phone and your car so that you can only walk to see people, and otherwise there's nothing for you to do in your home or wherever you go. You have no internet connection ever. So you cannot talk to anyone, and you cannot go see them because you have no car. My situation. That's intolerable. I cannot just go over and spend my time in the community center while I'm trying to do internet stuff. So if I can't get an internet connection at the small tiny apartment, then that doesn't work. I wouldn't spend time there at all, ever. Why would I? I'd be sitting in a tiny isolation pod. If I have no internet connection, there's no reason for me to ever be there except to sleep. So where am I going to go and what am I going to do? I'd effectively still be homeless, because there'd be no reason to stay there at all, so I wouldn't. So that's a bad part. I still have to talk to them. And here's the worst part. Here's the big part. Here's the big thing. Talking to people and getting information from them versus what's actually happening where you are. My sister told them I use medical marijuana, medical cannabis, because I can't use other stuff effectively. And I'm going to make a quick interjection. I used to be on about 20 prescription meds for my issues to try and help me be active and moving. 20 medicines. Interactions are awful. Medicine can have a negative impact on your actual health because of the side effects. I was on 20 of them. I got rid of all of them and replaced it with cannabis, and it works. I need a little bit of extra periodically, like the gabapentin, but I was able to replace that with one thing. Now, when I was reading the paperwork and filling it out, it says for the place that they're doing stuff that if you use medical cannabis, they will not consider you ever for their rent stuff, voucher stuff. If you use medical marijuana, get out. And at the tiny house place, I have to provide two more things. An income thing from DSHS, and I have to take a UA, which I was told wasn't going to happen. I'm not going to be able to pass a UA. If they check for THC, I'm not going to be able to pass a UA. I smoke like a chimney so I can move. I can only do this with the pain that I am suffering because of cannabis. Without it, I would be, at best, in a wheelchair. At worst, I would be bedbound. I like cannabis for that reason. As for me personally, you know what I feel when I smoke cannabis? Pain relief. Do I feel anything else? No. I feel nothing but pain relief. So I'm not smoking this stuff or, eating occasionally when I have edibles and the like for pleasure. It's because I wouldn't be able to move otherwise. And the ultimate irony in a thing like that is you can have a place that says we are a clean and sober facility. And the federal government, since all veteran stuff is federal, the federal government has said this is bad for you. So you can't have it. If you want to come here, you can't use it. Which means they are saying you are taking something that provides you with adequate pain control. You are taking a substance that not only provides you with adequate pain control, that has minimal side effects, and aside from any lung problems, are going to have no impact on your health in a negative fashion in the future. There's going to be lung damage, but when you compare even lifelong cannabis smokers with the lungs of lifelong cigarette smokers, lifelong cannabis smokers' lungs look like they've been thrown on a grill and quickly seared. Put it on for 30 seconds, flip it over for 30 seconds, and then take it off. That's what your lungs look like. It's not nice. The smoker of tobacco's lungs are tiny little charcoal black briquettes. So it does minimal damage, even though it does some. So there's an adequate pain control, but the federal government says it's dangerous. So they, again, are saying you can't use this substance that isn't hurting you because we are a clean facility. If you want to live here, you need to go onto these 10 to 15 different prescriptions, each of which provides a host of negative side effects, and in combination or separately can take years or just impact you so negatively you will feel like it's torture at the end of your life. Because we are a clean house and we are worried about your health. So because we are worried about your health, that substance that you take, that one substance that provides you with everything you need and doesn't hurt you, stay out. We're a clean house and we don't want you getting hurt, so take these 10 to 15 meds that are going to make your life hell, because we're a clean house and we worry about your health. I'm not going to give up medical cannabis because I don't want to be in a wheelchair. I use a walker now when I'm dizzy from my meds, when I'm really shaky and my posture is bad from my back injuries, or when I have to carry stuff right now because of my neck. I used a walker inside my house before I went on to medical cannabis because I could barely move. I don't want to go back to that. I like moving. I like going for walks. I can't go for more than I do, but... So, likely, if they're going to check for THC, I mean, I gotta ask them when I go in for the UA, is this, if you're checking for THC, just let's stop now. We can just stop now, because I'm never going to pass. In which case, because it would take at least, I don't know how, it's oil-based. It stays in your cells, in your hair. It has to grow out. THC, oil-based, sticks in your system. You have to be without for at least a month before you're going to test clean on a UA. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Because again, if this doesn't pan out, if they say no because of the THC use, there's nothing. We've been looking. They ain't nothing. Nothing that I can afford. And checking the rest of my list over here, there is stuff creatively that I have been doing my best to think about. But yesterday, talking again about this real quick, I was at the intake. The person who was doing my interview, I don't know what's going on in their life, but they kept falling asleep during it. Literally, and I've been there, where she would be doing stuff and then she'd come back and start doing this stuff again. And then she needed to make a copy of my driver's license. That was fine. I gave her my driver's license. I got about a third of the way home. She hadn't given my driver's license back. So I had to walk all the way back and then come home. I left here at about 10 o'clock yesterday. I got there 10:30ish. It was almost noon by the time I finished. From noon until 2:15, I was walking. So I spent a lot of time walking yesterday. And I have been physically, mentally, and emotionally exhausted. I've wanted to record things as a pillar of my mental stability. And there are a few people that like to watch, and thank you very much, each and every one of you that does. But I just haven't been able to. I got so much. It is hard to even think. I do not want to become homeless, but it looks like it's becoming inevitable. I am worried about this. Again, a reasonable fear. That's my spinal cord that they're going to have to core out the bone from around it. And then the nerves on my two arms there's 2 nerves on each side that they have to core out the bone around. That's scary. Yeah, the risk is minimal, but there is a risk. I got it up on a pedestal with lights and large growly sounds, so it's much more frightening than it really is, but it is scary. But I can't just not. So, terror, and the housing situation, terror, so yay! There is, of course, all sorts of other wonderful things. So, and by wonderful things, I mean we're all going to die. But I'm going to go through. Well, first, I want to thank each and every one. Reaching over like that is the worst. Out and in, just the nerves and the muscles. Each and every one of my Patreon patrons, thank you so much for helping me out. I would be hosed without your help. I am my aging pet. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much, each and every one of my Patreon patrons. You are beautiful and awesome people. To everybody that has ever donated to my PayPal or is and has donated to my GoFundMe, thank you so much. I need every penny I'm getting, both just to survive, because holy smoke, $70, and also to pay for my Comcast. Thank you so much. To pay for storage. Thank you so much. To pay for a U-Haul. Thank you all so much. Without your help, I would lose everything. But I'm on. Oh yeah. And so thank you. And I'm going to go through and thank however many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. Yay. I do things and then I regret it. I've talked with my hands my whole life, so yay. I'm going to go through and thank however many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours, and if I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended, even though I count American Sign Language, and I used to be not fluent, but not bad. I just basically do this for stimming purposes anymore. So let me call up my Chrome. Where now I've got something in my eye, corner of my eye. Ow, feels like a little pebble, which of course is not a pebble. It's just a tiny bit of something. So we have Big Chris, thumbs up and thank you. Jesse Koskinen, I'm worried about everything. Validly, I think, but yay. JAYY, thumbs up, thank you much. And I would not, if I get this place, I'm going to have to put 99.9% of everything I own and everything that entertains me into storage. There is just literally no room. One of these bookcases filled up is about as much space, personal space, as I got in one of those places if I get it. It's going to be hard making videos if I get the place, but we'll see what happens, because again, I got to be able to run internet out to the tiny place, or we have Easy Living. That was a very, very red shirt, and the way I have to bump up the color on this, it even pops more. So oy vey. 35.5 Jabberwocks, thumbs up and thank you very much. Fluffy Big Butt, thank you so very much. It is appreciated. User, greatly appreciated. And we have Lopsided Lollipop. Thumbs up and thank you. I like the name. 99th Requiem, greatly appreciated. And questions for it's federal. They just don't want cannabis for anything. Yay. Jared TG, thumbs up and thank you. Lucid Clarity, greatly appreciated. RJ Mitchell, always good to see you in the comments. Thumbs up and thank you. Flora Mew, greatly appreciated. And scroll. That is it. Thumbs up, thank you. Each and every one of you get me out of my head and into the world and dealing with real people, and that is appreciated. A definite thumbs up. Well, hokey smokes, I gotta talk to DSHS about the whole getting my income thing, and then I've gotta figure out a time when I gotta get out there and talk to them about the UA, or at least call them and say, should we even bother? going any further with this. So we shall see on that. I got phone calls to make. I've been talking to my sister a lot. And I'm a yakker. When I know you and I'm comfortable with you, I can talk your ear off. I can wake up in the morning, immediately my mouth starts, and I can continue talking until I fall asleep. I can't remember why I was bringing this all up. Oh yes, I know, I forget. So, yay, I wish I could remember. ADHD for the win. So anyway, I hope you can get done with what you need to get done. I'm going to try and get done what I can get done. Oh yeah, my sister, I'm a yakker. I'll yak your ear off, I'll talk forever. She puts me to shame. Thumbs up for that. So, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is indeed a very, very good thing. Yay! And now, I'm going to turn on the controller so I can turn off the recording. Yay! High contrast hand position. And I hope your day is an absolutely wonderful one.